We generally look at Bitcoin allocation through three lenses. There's global liquidity, where you can see that Bitcoin's, really only persistent correlations are a negative one with the dollar, the DXY. And so issues around risk appetite, leverage and deleveraging, this is kind of the 100,000 foot topic that has moved Bitcoin since COVID more than it used to pre-COVID.
What are the other two? You
Okay.
said there's three.
Yeah. So the other two, the second one is leverage in the crypto ecosystem. There, we describe it as a green light, right? We had a washout in the middle of October, which brought leverage levels in crypto down. Funding rates have collapsed. There was another, I think it was 1.7 billion of liquidations over the last 12 hours. So we're not seeing optimism in the crypto leverage market. I would tick that one as bullish, right? The first one would be kind of mixed to bearish. And then the third one is on-chain activity. What's happening with transaction fees? What's happening with on-chain addresses, number of transactions? That one we would describe as negative.
So how do you evaluate? You've got global liquidity. Let's call that a yellow light. You've got leverage in the system as a green light. And then you've got on-chain activity as a red light. I hope, or I would think, you want all three to be green or all three to be red, and it's very clear. You get mixed signals. How do you think through? Do you put more weight on, global liquidity or leverage in the system? Or how do you kind of maneuver when you're actually getting green, yellow, and red across the three things that you guys care about?
Yeah, I mean, it's a personal decision. It goes back to the answer to my first question, that volumes have come down. So we're noticing just people not making that call. For me personally, in the on-chain economy ETF that I manage, we sold about 15% of our Bitcoin mining position about 2 or 3 weeks ago, just noticing a lot of optimism and the beginning of this credit tightening situation. And the Bitcoin miners had driven a large percentage of our gains. And so it felt prudent at year end to kind of de-risk that a little bit. We have not yet redeployed that. There are some levels for Bitcoin that I'm thinking about. One of them is in the kind of 77, 78 range. So what that would be a 40% decline from the peak. And last cycle was an 80% decline. Since then, Bitcoin volatility has fallen by about half. So for my simple view, if volatility is down by half, then maybe the correction is half as big, and 40% feels like a reasonable chance to take a shot on a risk reward basis. It has the added benefit of also being the breakout of the post-election
69,000.
It was in mid 70s where we really got that election day move. And then April of this year, we retested that high 70s level. So there's a fair amount of, I think, technical support that has been built at that level. And then below that, a lot of folks are looking at the 55K level, which is the 200-week moving average. God forbid we talk about if we had another 80% decline, then you're back into 27K or so, which is actually right at the level when BlackRock filed their S1 for Bitcoin ETF. So that would wipe out all the ETF gains. I really think that's unlikely, but the 40% decline, the high 70s, that feels like a good shot to take a stab with positive risk